Slavery from a new view. Through the video, we will discuss 5 important questions. What is slavery? What led to slavery? Do you think slavery still exists today? Define slavery in one word. And what are the modern forms of slavery? First, what is slavery? Slavery is a system in which people are treated as a property to be bought and sold, and are forced to work without having any rights or money. Which would lead us to think, how did slavery start and what led to slavery? Which is our next question. Slavery is not a new act or a modern concept. In fact, it was found years ago. And the real question is, what led to slavery? After reading and studying about slavery, we think that social order and discrimination are both the main reasons behind slavery. Social order means when a society is structured or has a social class based on the people's wealth, race, color, tribal race, and other superficial things, as well as discrimination. And they are both very Similar. Discrimination is when someone is treated differently based on their appearance or color, race, gender, and even social class. Do you think slavery still exists today? Define slavery in one word. What are the modern forms of slavery? There are modern forms of slavery that have evolved over time, and today we might not know or recognize slavery in its oldest form, but it does exist today, and under different forms, terms, and circumstances, such as bonded labor, and very similar to forced labor. It is when people are employed against their will by the threat of destitution, detention, violence, sometimes so severe it could lead to death, and most of the time it is because of debt. Also, child labor. Child labor is any work that is done by children which deprives them from their rights as children and human beings, childhood, life, and education. Also harms them physically and mentally, as well as early and forced marriage. Mostly impacts women and girls who are wedded unwillingly, forced and pressured into lives of slavery, which often results in them being physically and emotionally damaged. And they often have no choice in ending their marriage. Human trafficking. It's when um, whether they were poor, males, females, children, and adults, are transferred from one area to another for the purpose of forcing them into hard labor and slavery conditions. And there are other forms also, just like forced begging and sex trafficking.